Now let's start with our patterns. We're going to be using 11 inches length, and I have it written out on 7.5 by 7.5. So get your paper or whatever you're comfortable with to draw your pattern first. Have your rulers, have all the things you need. I'm sure you have watched my first video where I talked about how important this thing is or how it can help you. So let's go ahead with this. Now you mark the center, you do everything you need to do. You can change the measurement, obviously. You can use anything that you think will work with whatever you're doing. So remember, 1.5 inch here, 1.5 inch on the other side. We're trying to make like a little square on these edges to create the part where the purse sits. So it depends on how big your pattern is. The sizes can differ. Be free to work with what works for you. I mean, don't stick to a rule where I said it must be 1.5. Don't forget that. Then at the center, you create that the center and you mark the same 1.5 and draw this out. You have your pattern already. Cut the fabric of choice. Whatever fabric you want to use, it's okay. You're going to be using two fabrics, one for the lining and one for the main bag. And now I've used interfacing, I've fused in my interfacing on these fabrics. So it's time to sew. Let's start with making the zippers. Please be careful about the zipper. Don't turn it the other way around. I made a little mistake. I had to loosen it all out. And if you are a beginner, do not use blade. Use a seam ripper. It's just safer to use a seam ripper if you're a beginner. And be careful on any fabric you're going to use blade with. And when you loosen any fabric, please pull out the threads. Remove every thread. It can be tacky when you have those tiny little threads hanging out on your project. Now let's go. After you do that, of course, I place it differently. Sew your zipper in, make sure it's well placed. Check to see. You can pin it down if that makes you better, if that makes things easier for you, which I think I did. Pin it down, then sew, because that's what you have the essence of dressmaker's pins or office pins, but I prefer dressmaker pin because they don't create big holes in your projects when you're doing them. Now, when you're sewing, have your stitches. So whatever you want to do, big stitches first and do tiny ones over. Whatever works, whatever rocks your boat, it's fine. Your sewing should be very neat placed. It's a simple project, so there's no big deal. It's going to be finished in a few minutes. You'll just see by the time we finish now. Now, sew the other side as well. Just follow the video. It's not difficult, honestly. And the choice of fabric is important. Like I said in the first video, whatever you use when you're sewing, it's how, don't just use any fabric. Well, for the practice, you can use any fabric because you want to be sure you get it well. And if you want to have a handle, this point is where you fix in the handles, where I put the chain in. You will have sewn the handles in on the side before you do the final sewing. So you sew the bottom line, skip that square part. Then if you're going to have a handle, insert the handle here. Over the zipper, make sure the zippers are well turned, so you don't have one facing one side and the other facing the other side. Sew all around. You skip the little square again. It's as simple as that. So the other side as well. And time to finish it. On one side, which is the lining side, you won't sew everything here. Leave a space for turning it out. Jump and skip and leave that space to turn it out. And on the main fabric, you're going to sew this part all the way. Then this part, you clip it together. Let the edges face each other. You sew it on the 4 points. They're going to be 2 on the lining, 2 on the main fabric. And voila, we're almost done. It's time to turn it out, iron, make it presentable. If you want to have wording on your fabric to make your purse well structured, put the wording in. Iron the wording in on the main fabric or the lining, depending on what you're using. And you're going to turn to have a beautiful clutch that could have a handle if you want. It could have anything you want. If you want small handles on the zipper side, figure it out and be creative with it. This is a project that, like I've said in my intro video, can fetch you a lot of money if you do it well. So keep the creative juice flowing. Follow me for more, and remember to follow me on my social media handles. Take a minute to subscribe and watch out for more videos from me. Take care, and I see you some other time. Isn't it just lovely? No work, just a simple DIY that can give you so much money. I'm just coming back to give this one more extra voice, like, oh, more, this purse go fine. Especially if you do it with a matching fabric with your outfit, or with something that can work with so many fabric, like my sequin, my sequin fabric that I mentioned in my video. Trust me, you're gonna love it. Okay, and it's time to click the like button and subscribe. Thank you.